Right now, you're living in one reality. This is the one you're aware of. But here's the mind-blowing part. There are infinite versions of your life unfolding at the same time. Imagine it. Just beyond your perception, there are countless possibilities. Every decision, every choice, every moment. There's another reality waiting to be experienced. And in those versions of your life, you're living a completely different story. But here's the catch. Most of us stay stuck in these loops, these repeating cycles of disappointment. We end up feeling like nothing ever changes, even though we're wishing for something bigger, something more meaningful. We find ourselves saying things like, "Why can't I just break free from this? Why does it feel like I'm stuck in the same old routine?" But it's not fate or some cosmic force holding you back. It's not destiny or karma. No, the real thing that keeps you stuck is something much more subtle, something within yourself. It's your mind, your body, your emotions. They're all trapped in the same frequency, the same state of being. That's what keeps you from stepping into the version of you that's already living a completely different life. Here's the truth. You can't simply wish your way out of it. You can't just think that if you want something badly enough, it'll magically appear. And the idea that you can fake it until you make it to trick the universe into giving you what you want, it doesn't work. At least, not in the way you might think. What you need isn't surface-level changes or more effort. The real breakthrough comes from something deeper. It's about becoming the new version of yourself. You need to align so deeply with that new version of you that your whole reality shifts. Let me explain why. A lot of people believe that manifestation is about wanting something so badly, like it's a matter of simply wishing for it. They think that if they just want something hard enough, be it love, success, or abundance, that the universe will hand it to them. But here's the deal. Wanting something doesn't make it happen. In fact, in the quantum world, the field doesn't respond to how badly you want something. It doesn't care how much you crave it. It responds to something much more powerful, the frequency of your energy. Even if you're doing everything you think is right, writing affirmations, building vision boards, and visualizing your future, you might still find yourself stuck. Why? Because while your conscious mind is saying, "I want success, I want love, I want abundance," down deep in your subconscious, your nervous system is still stuck in patterns that are keeping you in the same old reality. So, even though you're actively telling the universe what you want, your body, your energy, and your subconscious mind are sending out a completely different signal. Your system is conditioned to feel comfortable with what it already knows, even if it's limiting. So, even though you want something new, your unconscious mind is stuck in feelings of fear, doubt, and lack. That's why, no matter how much you declare your desires, if your energy isn't in harmony with what you want, the universe won't reflect it back. It will just mirror what's already familiar. Here's the thing. Real quantum shifts happen from the inside out. A lot of people think they can change their reality by adjusting their circumstances or actions. But true breakthroughs come when you first shift yourself. When you start aligning your energy with the version of yourself that's already living your dream life, that's when the universe starts responding differently. Now, let's dive into something super interesting. According to quantum physics, every possibility already exists at the quantum level. Every version of your life, every outcome, every potential future. It's already out there. All you have to do is tune into the version of yourself who's living the reality you want. You're not creating something from scratch. You're stepping into a version of yourself that already exists. This is the magic of quantum breakthroughs. Every possibility you've ever dreamed of is already out there, just waiting for you to connect with it. That's why it's possible to break free from the cycle. It's not about starting from zero. It's about tuning into the right frequency, the right version of yourself, and stepping into that reality. This concept isn't new. In fact, ancient civilizations understood this on a profound level. Think about Nikola Tesla's famous quote, "If you only knew the magnificence of the 3, 6, and 9, then you would have the key to the universe." These numbers, while they might seem random, are reflections of universal patterns. They're tied to the frequencies that shape the structure of reality. Cultures like the Egyptians, the Greeks, and various indigenous groups had an innate understanding of these universal frequencies. The Egyptians, for example, built the pyramids with specific ratios that produced unique frequencies. The Greeks discovered the golden ratio, which can be found in nature, from the petals of a flower to the spirals of galaxies. These ancient cultures weren't just dabbling in superstition. They were working with quantum principles long before modern science even had the language to describe it. And guess what? Modern science is just now catching up. We now know that when monks enter deep states of meditation, their brain waves shift into specific frequencies, like theta and gamma waves. These aren't just random electrical patterns. They're coherent patterns that influence not just the brain, but the electromagnetic field around us. And when your brain taps into these frequencies, it's not just some mystical experience. It's a real, tangible shift in your energy. When you're in alignment with these sacred frequencies, whether through meditation, mindfulness, or being around certain symbols like sacred geometry, your energy starts to match the universe's. It's like tuning a radio to the exact frequency of the reality you want to experience. So, if manifestation isn't about how badly you want something, the real question becomes, who do you need to become in order to align with the version of reality where what you want already exists? That's the secret to quantum manifestation. Becoming isn't about pretending or acting like someone you're not. It's about embodying the person who already lives that life. You're not faking it. You're stepping into the frequency of your future self. And when you do that, the universe has no choice but to reflect that back to you. This is the core of the quantum shift. Now, you might be thinking, okay, this all sounds fascinating, but how exactly do I start? How do I align my energy with the version of myself who's already living the life I want? It's easy to get excited about the idea of transformation, but the real work happens in how you embody the changes. The truth is, it all begins with a shift in how you see yourself. Too often, people approach manifestation as a doing process. They make lists, set goals, and take actions, hoping that if they just work hard enough, something will change. But that's the biggest misunderstanding. True quantum shifts don't come from the outside in. They come from the inside out. And it starts by being that version of you right now. The first thing you need to understand is that the universe isn't responding to your desires. It's responding to your energy. It's not about the goals you set or the actions you take. Those are important, but they're secondary. The universe is reflecting the vibration you're putting out into the field. And if that vibration isn't aligned with your desired reality, no matter what actions you take, your life will keep looking the same. This is why so many people feel stuck. They're trying to manifest their dreams from a place of lack, fear, or doubt. When you come from this energy, The universe can only reflect that back. It's like trying to tune your radio to the station you want, but staying stuck on the wrong frequency. Here's the thing. The field doesn't respond to your thoughts alone. It responds to the feeling you're putting out. This is why real manifestation isn't about thinking your way into success. It's about aligning your whole being, your thoughts, emotions, actions, and energy, with the version of yourself who's already living that reality. Let me give you an example. Let's say you're trying to manifest abundance. If you're saying all the right things, affirming wealth and success, but deep down, you still feel scarcity, fear, or doubt about money, that's the frequency you're broadcasting. The universe won't respond to your desire for abundance because your energy isn't in harmony with it. What you need to do is become that abundant person now. It's about feeling abundant, thinking abundantly, and acting as if you already have what you want. When you align yourself with that version of you who's living in abundance, the universe begins to mirror that back. This is why it's not about doing more. It's about being more. But how do you start embodying that energy? The first step is to become aware of the limiting beliefs, fears, and patterns that are keeping you stuck in your current reality. You have to acknowledge that your inner world is being reflected in your outer world. If your reality isn't matching up with what you desire, it's time to take a look at the beliefs and emotions that are driving your current experiences. Most of these patterns are unconscious. They're stories you've been telling yourself for years, stories about not being good enough, about things being too hard, or about not deserving the things you want. The key to shifting your energy is recognizing these stories and choosing to rewrite them. Once you start identifying these old patterns, it's time to let them go. I'm not saying it's easy. It takes time and practice. But the moment you become aware of these patterns, you can begin to release them. This is where the real work happens. Not in wishing for a better reality, but in doing the internal work to create space for the new reality to emerge. Another way to start shifting your energy is through practices like mindfulness and meditation. These techniques help you slow down and create space between your thoughts and your reactions. When you practice mindfulness, you start noticing when old patterns of fear, doubt, or negativity creep in. The key is to catch yourself in the moment. Choose a new response and realign your energy with your desired reality. It might feel difficult at first, especially if you've been living in these patterns for a long time, but the more you practice, the easier it becomes to switch your energy and align with the version of yourself who already has what you want. And as you practice, you'll begin to notice that your outer world starts shifting too. Synchronicities, new opportunities, and the right people will start showing up in your life because you're now vibrating at the frequency of your future self. Now, let's talk about the second crucial part of the transformation process: trust. This is where a lot of people get stuck. You can do all the inner work and make all the shifts, but if you don't trust that your new reality is on its way, you're still broadcasting doubt. Trust is a huge component of manifestation. You have to trust that the universe is already aligning with your energy, and that what you want is already on its way to you. This doesn't mean you should just sit back and wait passively. Trust doesn't mean doing nothing. What it means is letting go of the need for control and surrendering to the process. It's about trusting that your desires are already on their way, even if you can't see the evidence yet. When you trust the process, you're able to stay in alignment with the frequency of your desired reality, even when things don't seem to be changing in your physical world. A great way to practice trust is by embracing the concept of embodiment. Embodiment isn't just about saying positive affirmations or thinking happy thoughts. It's about living in alignment with your future self right now. It's about acting, thinking, and feeling like the person you want to become, even before you see the tangible evidence of your new reality. For example, if you want to manifest more love into your life, you can start by embodying the feelings of love and worthiness right now. You don't need a partner to feel loved. You can start by loving yourself, by being open to love in all its forms, and by radiating that love to the world around you. As you do this, you'll begin to attract the kind of love and connection that mirrors your own energy. If you want to attract abundance, start by acting as though abundance is already flowing to you. Spend money confidently, knowing that more will come. Feel grateful for the resources you have, even if it's not the amount you want just yet. This is how you align with the energy of abundance. And remember, this isn't about pretending. This is about truly embodying the energy of the reality you're creating. When you do this, you'll notice the universe responding in kind. It's like the field starts rearranging itself to meet you where you are. And before long, you'll find yourself living in the reality you once only dreamed of. So, let's talk about how to maintain this transformation. Because here's the thing, manifestation isn't just a one-off event, it's a practice. It's something you need to commit to every single day, just like any other skill. The more consistently you align with your future self, the faster your new reality will manifest. But here's where many people get tripped up. They try manifestation once, they see some minor shifts, and then, when things don't happen as quickly as they'd like, they fall back into their old patterns. But the key to long-lasting change is not just in the initial shifts, it's in sustaining your alignment, no matter what's happening around you. One of the biggest hurdles in the manifestation process is patience. The universe doesn't operate on your timeline. You might want things to happen right now, but the truth is, the universe has its own timing. It's not about when you want something, it's about when the energy is aligned for it to manifest. And here's the catch. If you get frustrated, impatient, or doubtful, that energy will only slow things down. The trick is to stay in trust, even when you don't see the results yet. Think of manifestation like planting a seed. When you plant a seed, it doesn't just sprout up the moment it hits the soil. It needs time to grow, to root itself, to become something tangible. The same goes for your manifestations. You've planted the seed of your new reality, and now it needs time to unfold. The key is to stay in trust and keep nurturing it, knowing that it's already in the process of growing. So, how do you stay in alignment when the physical world isn't reflecting your desires yet? One of the most powerful tools is gratitude. I know you've probably heard this a lot, but it's one of the most effective ways to maintain your vibration. Gratitude helps you stay in the energy of abundance, no matter what your current circumstances are. When you feel grateful for the small things, you're telling the universe that you have more than enough, and in turn, it brings you more. But here's a twist. Most people practice gratitude conditionally. They think, I'll be grateful once I have more money, or I'll be grateful when I find my soulmate. But the real power of gratitude comes from practicing it now. Be grateful for what you have right in this moment, and also express gratitude for the things that are already on their way to you, even if you can't see them yet. Gratitude is like a magnet. The more you express it, the more the universe will bring you things to be grateful for. And when you're grateful for what you already have, you're automatically aligning your energy with abundance, which is the frequency you want to attract more of. Another key to sustaining your transformation is celebrating your small wins. Manifestation isn't just about the big breakthroughs. It's about recognizing and celebrating the little shifts, the tiny victories, and the signs that the universe is responding to your energy. Maybe you get a small sign or synchronicity, or you notice a change in your mindset or behavior. These are all signs that you're on the right track, and they help you stay in alignment. When you notice these small wins, take a moment to acknowledge them. Celebrate yourself for the progress you've made. The more you acknowledge your growth, the more momentum you build, and that momentum will carry you forward into the reality you're creating. On the flip side, if you're not seeing any shifts, it's a signal that you need to check in with your energy. Have you slipped back into old patterns of doubt, fear, or scarcity? It's normal to fall off track sometimes, but the key is to notice it, realign, and get back on course. Every time you realign with your future self, you're strengthening your new reality. Remember, it's not about being perfect. It's about being consistent. Consistency is what creates lasting change. It's the small, consistent actions that build up over time to create the life you want. Even on days when it feels like nothing is shifting, keep showing up. Stay aligned and trust the process. Now, here's a critical point to keep in mind. The universe is always reflecting your energy. If you're aligned with your future self, it's only a matter of time before your reality shifts to match. But if you're not aligned, the universe will continue reflecting your past experiences. This is why people get stuck in repetitive cycles. They're still vibrating at the frequency of their old reality. And until they shift that frequency, they'll keep seeing the same patterns. So, how do you make sure you're aligned with your new reality? The first step is to stay aware of your energy at all times. What are you thinking? How are you feeling? Are you reacting from old patterns, or are you responding from the energy of your future self? The more aware you become of your thoughts, feelings, and actions, the easier it will be to choose a new response. This awareness is key to staying in alignment with your desired reality. Mindfulness practices, like meditation or conscious breathing, are powerful tools to help you stay connected to your higher self and your new energy. When you create space between your thoughts and your reactions, you allow yourself to choose new ways of being. And when you consistently choose alignment, your reality begins to shift. Let's talk about one last powerful tool for staying in alignment. Trusting the timing. The universe doesn't move according to your deadlines. It works in divine timing, and often that means things will manifest when the energy is right, not necessarily when you think it should. The key is to stay patient, keep doing the internal work, and trust that your manifestations are already on their way. And here's something beautiful to remember. The moment you start living in alignment with your future self, the universe begins to respond faster. Things will start happening quickly, and you'll begin to see synchronicities and opportunities that you didn't notice before. When your energy aligns, the world around you starts to rearrange itself to match your vibration. So, how do you make all of this stick? It's simple. Keep showing up. Stay aligned with your energy, trust the process, and don't be discouraged if things take time. The more you practice, the more you'll see that your reality is shifting. And when you finally start living in the reality you've been creating, you'll look back and realize that everything you've wanted was always within your reach. You just had to align with it. Quantum, quantum field, nexus, quantum nexus, energy, consciousness, subconscious, frequency, vibration, subconscious, manifestation, reality shifting, quantum physics, neural pathways, heart-brain coherence, observer effect, embodiment, sacred geometry, Tesla, quantum entanglement, nervous system, transformation, spiritual awakening, higher self, quantum breakthrough, universal field, energetic alignment, coherent breathing, future memory, gratitude, amplification, quantum consciousness.